surprise water park, a freeloading family, and the day I finally snapped. My sister-in-law and her crew had been living in our house since July. Rent-free, bill-free, responsibility-free, because their new place would totally be ready by September. That date had somehow turned into a floating concept, like a mirage you keep staring at while dying in the desert. Meanwhile, I spent every single day babysitting their 9-year-old daughter, Chloe, because both her parents worked long hours. And even when they were home, they'd just nudge her toward me like she was a Roomba that needed docking. I started slipping out the back door just to grab 5 minutes of silence. But the worst part? Whenever they went somewhere actually fun, my kids were never invited. Not once. 2 weeks ago, we went to this giant amusement park an hour away. My husband, Evan, originally planned the trip just for us and our kids, but his sister guilt-tripped him so aggressively that he nearly canceled the whole thing. Eventually, he caved and bought Chloe a ticket. The next day, his sister and her husband went to a different amusement park and told my kids no because they wanted special family time. The hypocrisy could have fueled a rocket. By Friday, my patience was thinner than wet tissue paper. I was taking my kids for a simple walk around the block, nothing fancy, and my sister-in-law immediately tried to add Chloe to the roster again. I said no, out loud, directly. I told her from now on, unless I personally invite Chloe, she doesn't come. I also told her she needed to find actual childcare because I was done being the unpaid summer nanny. She got that injured puppy look manipulative people love to use and said she just thought the kids liked being together. Saturday was supposed to be amazing. Evan had secretly planned this surprise trip to a brand new water park. The kids didn't know, and I was quietly packing towels, sunscreen, snacks, mom necessities. Then Chloe walked in wearing a bathing suit and carrying a bag like she had received a written invitation. I looked at Evan. He looked guilty. He said his sister overheard us talking the night before and begged him to bring Chloe since she'd never been to a water park. I just started unpacking. Slow, calm, mechanical. Evan asked what I was doing and I said, I'm finished. I told him he could enjoy the water park with his niece and I'd take our kids somewhere else. He looked confused, like genuinely confused, as if all the warning signs hadn't been glowing neon for months. I grabbed my keys, told my kids to get in the car, and drove them to this indoor trampoline park 20 minutes away. They had the time of their lives, jumping, flipping, racing around, eating pizza, laughing until they collapsed. I felt peace for the first time in weeks. Evan texted me nonstop asking where we were. I ignored him until we headed home. I sent one message. We had our own fun day. When we walked in that night, his sister was already in my living room waiting like a vulture who'd memorized her lines. She immediately burst into tears, saying I was cruel to an innocent child and had ruined Chloe's summer. I said she'd been ruining my summer for an entire month by treating me like free labor. Her husband jumped in, chest puffed, declaring, family helps family. I laughed. Then where was that energy when you went to the amusement park and told my kids no? He got real quiet, real fast. Evan tried to play mediator, saying we all needed to communicate better. I told him the communication was perfectly clear. His sister expected everything and gave nothing. And until they paid rent or contributed to groceries, I wasn't lifting another finger. His sister stormed off. Evan slept on the couch. The next morning, his mom called, clearly fed a dramatic bedtime story by his sister. She said I should be more understanding because they were going through a hard time. I asked her if she would let someone live with her rent-free, eat her food, and dump childcare on her every day. She went silent, then said, well, family sacrifices. I said, exactly. Sacrifice goes both ways, and hung up. Shockingly, that's when my sister-in-law suddenly decided they needed a temporary place of their own. They moved into an extended stay hotel 2 weeks later. Evan was mad at first, saying I drove his sister out, but honestly, she drove herself.